footballers out there. This is Fantasy Football Come True Outtake. This is the third week of fantasy football, and this is where our two stars, B. Foster and RonFun, they come together and they tell you exactly who their lineups are going to be, or exactly a portion of who they're going to be using and why. But this is the outtake. This is where the rubber meets the road. RonFun, talk to us on outtake.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Again, hit me up on Twitter at RonFun, at RonFun. If you have any questions, there's an easy way to get to us. And we're going to be brainstorming between now and Sunday morning. B. Foster and I get together and we brainstorm all weekend, and this is how we brainstorm. But I'm going to tell you some guys. I'm going to tell you about 3 guys that I think are very, very good value plays that you should think about putting in your lineups, and I'm thinking about putting in my lineups. And I'm doubling up this week, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all that right now. But Tyler
doubling down, baby, doubling down.
Tyler Boyd at 5,900. They're going against the Eagles. He's way too cheap for his production, in my opinion. Joe Burrow is coming in his own as a quarterback. He's been leaning in on Boyd. Boyd gets a lot of targets. And then, we talked about the issues with the Eagles. I'm really leaning him on my player pool. I'm actually going to go Jonathan Taylor as well. He's going to be high in my player pool. He might not make the final cut. There might be a cheaper guy out there, but I gotta put Jonathan Taylor in the mix at 7,000. And B. Foster and I are between the following. And I hate to give one of yours up, B, but between Metcalf and Lockett at 6,400 and 6,500, you got to do some thinking. You got to think about, do you want the slot guy or do you want the deep guy? They're only $100 apart. And I'm probably going to go with one of those. If you see my jersey, you see my hat. This is the second time in 3 weeks I rock the Seattle. I try to rock a team that I believe in. And that'll be my 3 guys that you need to consider in your lineups if you want to win money this week.
Yeah, my 3 guys. Yes, sir.
Hey, I just heard them say, talk about the matchup going against my Cowboys. I'm going to just give y'all this advice right here. I believe the Cowboys are going to give somebody over the top. So on the deep man, I think we're going to probably have the deep man double covered. So if you want to go with somebody, I personally would recommend probably your slot man who's coming in, get some of those slants, crossing the field, and possibly not be the deep man to get that, over and under coverage. But that's just me personally. I need to know a little bit about my Cowboys. Not much, but a little bit. Go ahead, B. Foster. Go ahead and let that rubber meet the road, baby.
Yeah, my 3 guys, man, I talked about on the show, but Miles Sanders, man, 6,400. You saw what Hunt and Chubb did. 4 touchdowns between the two against the Bengals last week on an island game Thursday night. Miles Sanders, 23 touches. Eagles in a must-win situation at 0-2. Miles Sanders is an easy play. Don't overthink it. Deontay Johnson at 5,400, still too cheap. DraftKings hates the guy for some reason. He's Big Ben's favorite target. I know everybody talks about Juju. You love Juju, but he's going against Houston defense that scares no one. Deontay Johnson leading the team in targets. Ben talked him up again this week in practice, gaining chemistry with him. 5,400. What am I doing? He's a lot. He's a lot. And then I got a guy a little bit off your radar, but $3,000. I'm going to the bottom bin. $3,000 guy, but this guy's going to be a good play. So you had Cortland Sutton. You had Denver Broncos lose Cortland Sutton to an ACL last week, out for the season. You got Jerry Jeudy is questionable for Sunday. Not sure if he's going to play. Even if he does play, the guy who stepped in last week, KJ Hamler, stepped in for Sutton last week, played 64% of the snaps. 62% of the snaps last week. Got 7 targets from Driscoll last week. The play against Tampa Bay, everybody knows Tampa Bay is what we call a pass funnel. That means you can't run against them, so you got to pass against them. So KJ Hamler at the minimum, stone minimum, $3,000 with Cortland Sutton out, Jerry Jeudy banged up. KJ Hamler, his player comp, Deshaun Jackson, needs one play to pay off for you. $3,000. If he doesn't do anything, it doesn't even matter. But I see this guy doing something, a big play for you. $3,000, you need 12 points. KJ Hamler's going to get you 15 on Sunday. $3,000 allow you to get anything else you want. KJ Hamler, Deontay Johnson, Miles Sanders, lock them in this week.
Now, is Hamler a tournament play or is that a cash play possibly?
I think he's both. I think he's both. I think you can play him either way. I mean, 3,000. If 3,000 allows you to get something you really like, I think he's a great cash play. I mean, I can protect the guy for 5 targets at least minimum. If he's playing 60% of snaps, if Judy, now it's a late game, you have to be careful. It's a late game, so you might not know if Judy's going to play or not. But even if he does play, I still like Hamler to play again 60% of the snaps. And Cortland, let's see, Sutton played 40% of the snaps last week, so he was in for a lot of the games. So if you're telling me he's not going to play at all, Hamler's getting all that work. So at 3,000, I mean, I love him.
Okay. Good deal. Thank you, B. Foster. Thank you, RonFun. This has been another fantasy football come true outtake. Fans, take advantage of these nuggets that have just been given to you. No need to let it pass you by. Remember, this is a show that wants to see you put money in your pocket. Until the next edition of Fantasy Football Come True, I'm your man, I'm your host, Hot Rod Funderburk, and on behalf of B. Foster, RonFun, see you next time.